Okay, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Om Agnanatimrantasya Gnanajanashalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna, everyone. Reading from the book, The Teachings of Lord Chaitanya Deva. There are symptoms of a holy man. The process of satisfying the sage and rejecting the society of undesirable persons and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam constantly. Also to be followed are duties of the day, duties of the fortnight, and observing fasting on Ekadashi day. And duties of the month, the observing ceremonies like the birthday of the Lord, the three specific dates of fasting, Ekadashi, Janmashtami, Vamana Dwadasi, Sriramnavami, and Nrsimha Chaturdasi. And in observing such fasting days, there is a concentration of pitha or overlapping of fasting days with the other situations of the month, and how they are helpful in the advancement of devotional service. Lord Chaitanya instructed Sanatana Goswami that in every step he should give documentary evidence from the Puranas. So mentioned is how to establish the terms of the Lord and the general behavior and symptoms of a Vaishnava and the duties and occupation of the Vaishnava. Thus, the Lord, in summary, explained all the details of the writing books on Vaishnava regulative principles. Sanatana Goswami was a great devotee of the Lord and was directly instructed to spread the light of bhakti by writing many books. There is description of him in Chaitanya Chandrodaya. Viriji said that Sanatan Goswami was one of the ministers of the Nawab Hussain government. In fact, he was the most important personality in the government. His brother Rupa Goswami was also a minister in the government, and both of them gave up the lucrative government service and became mendicants to serve the Supreme Lord. Within their hearts, they are full of transcendental loving service, but eternally they are just like ordinary mendicants. With a great king, with a great liking for the cowherd boy of Vrindavan. Sanatan Goswami was very dear to all were dear to all pure devotees of his time. Things Part 2. Lord Chaitanya, the original personality of Godhead. Following in the footsteps of Kaviraj Krishnadas Goswami, we may offer our respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. He is described as follows. Lord Chaitanya is the only shelter for the forlorn or the most fallen, and he is the only hope for persons who are completely devoid of spiritual knowledge. Let us try to discuss his great contribution of devotional service. The supremely powerful Lord Krishna becomes manifest in five different potentialities. Although he is one without any second, still for serving five different specific spiritual purposes. He is manifested in five. Such diversity is eternal and blissful, as opposed to the conception of monotonous oneness. From the version of Vedic literature, we can understand that the absolute truth, the supreme percent of Godhead, eternally exists with his diverse energies. Lord Chaitanya appeared with full diverse energies, and they are five in number, and therefore he is said to be Krishna with diverse energies, presented as Lord Chaitanya. As there is no difference between the energy and energetic, so it is in the Lord's appearance as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his four associates, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, Gadadhara, and Srivas. Among these five diverse manifestations of Supreme Lord as incarnation, expansion, and energies, there is no spiritual difference. They are five in one absolute truth. Publishing transcendental flavors in the absolute truth, they are the five diverse manifestations, and they are called the form of devotee, the identity of a devotee, and pure devote service. Out of these five diversions, the absolute truth, the form of the Lord Chaitanya, is the original person of Godhead, Krishna. The identity of Krishna as Lord Nityananda is as the manifestation of the first expression of Supreme Lord. And similarly, Advaita Prabhu is incarnation of Supreme Lord. All these three belong to the category of Vishnu Tattva or the Supreme Absolute Truth. Srivas is representation of a pure devotee, and Gadadhara is a representation of the internal energy of the Lord for advancement in the cause of pure devotion. Therefore, Gadadhara and Srivas, although within the category of Vishnu, are diverse energies of Supreme Lord. In other words, they are not different from inner state, but still flourishing transcendental relationship. They are manifested diversely. The whole process of devotional service is a transcendental reciprocation of the flavors of relationship between the worshipped and the worshipper. Without such a diverse exchange of transcendental flavors, devotional service has no meaning. In the Vedic literature, Kathopanishad, there is a verse which says that the Supreme Lord is a supreme living entity amongst all living entities. There are innumerable living entities, but there is one living entity who is supreme absolute Godhead. The difference between that singular living entity and the plural number of living entities is the singular living entity is the Lord of all. Lord Chaitanya is a supreme living entity who discerned himself for claiming the fallen innumerable living entities. In other words, the specific purpose of Lord Chaitanya's advent in recent ages was to establish the Vedic fact that there is one supreme person of Godhead predominating over or maintaining the numerous personalities of living entities. The Mayavadi impersonist philosophers cannot understand this, and therefore Lord Chaitanya advanced himself to convince the people in general about the real nature of the relationship between supreme and many entities. In Bhagavad Gita, the last instruction of Lord Krishna is that everyone should give up all other engagements and should engage in all in the devotional service of Lord. But after his disappearance, persons with less intelligence misunderstood him. They became contaminated with the Mayavadi philosophy, which produced so many mental speculators that people became misled about the actual position of the absolute truth and the living entity. Lord Chaitanya, although the Supreme Lord Krishna himself, again appeared to teach the fallen souls of this material world how to approach Lord Krishna. The philosophy of Bhagavad Gita is that one should give up everything and be done in this world of material attachment. A few devotee of Lord Krishna and one who follows the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya are the same. Chaitanya's philosophy is one should give up everything and worship God Krishna. The difference is that Krishna, the Supreme Lord, the person of Godhead, spoke the same words indicating himself and the Mayavadi philosophers, and the Mayavadi philosophers misunderstood him. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya indicated the same thing. One should not declare himself to be as good as Krishna, but should worship Krishna as the Supreme Lord. It is a great mistake if we accept Lord Chaitanya as one of the conditioned souls. He is to be understood as supreme absolute truth, the person of Godhead, Sri Krishna himself. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, therefore it is said of Lord Chaitanya, Krishna is now present in his five diverse manifestations, as is being explained here. Unless one is uncontaminated goodness, it is very difficult to understand Lord Chaitanya as the supreme person of Godhead himself. Therefore, to understand Lord Chaitanya, one has to follow the direct disciples of Lord Chaitanya, the six Goswamis, and especially the path chalked out by Srila Jiva Goswami. So let me stop here. As I started to read today's commentary, one thing that struck my mind is the ABCD, the association, the book reading, chanting, and the deity or the diet is what we have to follow in this material world. And the only way to get ourselves free away from this material attachments is doing the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra 16 rounds. It is also said, if it also said that the two brothers who were working under a Muslim king did come out, definitely they are great souls. I think Sanatan Goswami and his brother Rupa Goswami. Even though they were powerful in that kingdom or in that government, but still they have more attachment to the Lord, and for that reason they gave up their services and then continued to service the Supreme Person of Godhead.